Hey, this is Gary from Optimal Cruising, and these are the 7 hidden cruise costs that surprise first-timers. Now, we've been cruising for a number of years, and if you think your cruise is all paid for once you book it, think again. We've compiled a list of the 7 top things that cruisers tell us they didn't expect to have to pay for on their cruise. Number 7, room service fees. When you think cruises, you think all-inclusive, which means whatever you eat is covered. But it's not necessarily if you order room service. Now, while most cruise lines offer 24-hour room service with a limited menu, they do charge a fee for each time you order that room service. The one exception is a continental breakfast. On most lines, you can get that for free if you fill out the card and put it out on your doorknob the night before. But the rest of the day, other meals, if you order room service, expect to pay a surcharge for that experience. Number 6, specialty dining. Now, this really shouldn't be a surprise for most cruisers because while you do have included meals with your cruise fare, that includes the main dining room and the buffet, and on many cruise ships, a few other cafes that are part of your included package, there are going to be specialty dining restaurants where cruise lines make a lot of extra money on by charging you a fee for that premium dining experience. And that can cost you money. And when you get on the ship and you see these luxurious, nice restaurants and you want to eat there, just keep in mind, they're going to cost you a little extra. So if you want to have that experience when you go on your cruise, budget a little extra money. They can cost anywhere from $30 to $100 per person, depending on the cruise line and the type of experience the restaurant is giving you. Number 5, drinks. Now, most people going on a cruise assume that drinks are going to be included, and certain drinks are. Water, of course, juice, tea, coffee is typically included for free. But people don't understand that where you get these drinks are in the buffet, the restaurants, and the places that you can go to get food. And they're not always open 24 hours. So if you need a bottle of water to take back to your room, or if you're looking for a soda or anything like that, you're going to have to pay extra for it. So just be prepared. Budget a little extra money if you're going to be purchasing those kinds of drinks, because the free drinks are typically what's available during meal times, and it's not 24 hours on most ships. That being said, if you do bring a tumbler or a bottle with you that you can refill, you'll find a station somewhere most of the time where you can fill it up with water and stay hydrated and avoid all of the premium drinks or paying for any drinks on board. Number 4, ports of call. Now, yes, ports of call are free. You can get off the ship for free. You've already paid whatever taxes included in your fare. So whatever those charges are, you've already been covered for that. You can get off the ship, no problem. But most ports of call will require you to spend some money to do something. Not all of them, but most of them. Even the ones like Costa Maya that have a built-in entertainment facility at the port of call, you can use those pools and things, and some of that stuff is technically free, but if you sit down there or even use the pools, they're expecting you to spend some money on food or drinks at their restaurants. So keep that in mind. You need to budget some money for each port of call, with the exception of the private islands. So if you have a private island in your itinerary, you can certainly do most things on that island for free. Not everything, depending on the cruise line, but many things, and you can have a great time without spending a dime. But for the typical ports of call, like Cozumel, Nassau, you're going to spend a little money to do something. Make sure you budget for that. I'm not saying you have to book shore excursions from the cruise line, because sometimes those are pretty overpriced, and actually you can spend a lot less doing things on your own. If you do a little research, check the internet, see what's available, and find something that interests you. Number 3, internet and Wi-Fi. Now, some people think that, like at any cafe you go on land, they're going to have free Wi-Fi. It's totally different on cruise ships. They charge a premium for it. So you're going to overpay to use Wi-Fi or the internet when you're on the ship. Now, for some people, it's worth it. They need that service, they need that experience. But for other people, it's a great time to detox and get away from the Wi-Fi for a few days, because it's really only a couple days. When you get into port and you get off the ship, you will find those cafes and places where you can catch free Wi-Fi and get caught up on things. But while you're on the ship, it can cost between $15 and $30 a day per device, depending on the ship, depending on when you buy that package. So keep that in mind. If you're going to need Wi-Fi or internet during your cruise, it's going to be an extra expense. Number 2, kid-friendly activities. Now keep this in mind, because there are a lot of activities on board the ship which are totally free, and many of them are adult-oriented. But there are some kid-oriented activities which cost a little money. Now, most ships have a kids club which will be absolutely free during regular hours. But if you want the kids there later at night, they charge a premium. And then there will be an arcade on most cruise ships that the kids will spend money on if you allow that. So keep that in mind. That's something you want to budget for. And then there are other kid-friendly activities on a lot of cruise ships that charge a premium, like a Robotron ride or a zip line ride. They're not free. They cost an extra charge, and you have to pay that for each time you go on most cruise ships. So keep that in mind and budget accordingly, because if you're traveling with a family with kids, they're going to want to do some of these activities, and not all the activities are free of charge. And number 1, what shocks a ton of people is that gratuities can be between $14 and $20 per day per person. To me, that's a bit outrageous, but the cruise lines do spread these gratuities among all of the staff, so it does go to a good cause. But you need to budget for this, because it's typically not included in your cruise fare. If you're traveling anywhere in the Americas, it will be an extra charge. Now, I say that because some European countries where tipping is not the norm, they include it in the price up front, so you won't be hit with this as an extra charge. So keep that in mind, because if you weren't expecting to spend another $200-300 on this cruise, and you get there and all of a sudden that's on your onboard account, you're kind of stuck. So plan for this ahead of time. The gratuities go to the staff. It's kind of a good way to do it, because then you don't have to worry about paying anybody extra gratuities. I mean, you can if you have some great service and you want to really reward somebody, but just by having your account charged for the gratuities for your entire cruise, you're basically taking care of all the staff that helped you while you were on vacation. Cruising can be a great experience, and we don't want any of these extra costs to sink your budget. So plan ahead and you'll have an awesome time. Did any of these extra expenses surprise you? Drop us a comment below, let us know. Please subscribe to our channel to get all the tips, tricks, and secrets that we publish regularly about the cruising industry. You know the 7 hidden secrets that surprise most first-time cruisers. Watch this next video so you can figure out the 10 best things to do on the cruise that you're about to go on, and most of them are absolutely free.